Hello, I'm Ned Kelly. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2019. I recently announced that I am running for the chair of the Libertarian Party of Kansas. That election takes place at the convention next Saturday, April 13th in Leavenworth. For more information, go to lpks.org. I'm going to talk in this video today a little bit about my vision, just in broad strokes, about what I would like to do. Of course, it's not a dictatorship. It's not just my vision that counts. It's our vision that counts, and the entire executive committee and every volunteer and everyone involved. I would like to put forth my personal vision, my goals, my aspirations, at least, again, in some broad terms here. So obviously, as a political party, we focus on campaigns, electing people. That is, of course, primarily our main intention and focus. I have two others, so a total of three main foci, three main areas where I would like us to focus. So campaigns, of course, running candidates. I will sit down, if I am elected, sit down with our executive committee and look at what are some good goals, some numbers to run, to aspire to, how many candidates to run for 2019, but especially, of course, 2020. We need to start looking at. That's a big year, a presidential election year, and it is by no means too early to be looking at that, talking to people, getting candidates. Run local, run as many local candidates as possible for your school boards, for town committees and whatever elections like that, state legislature, state rep, or even state senate. And of course, those big statewide elections and presidential elections are important. And we need to put a good candidate forward for the statewide, for U.S. Senate coming up in 2020 to maintain our minor party status in Kansas. So, of course, running campaigns, running good candidates, running as many candidates and good candidates as possible. Number two, so I said there are three main areas to focus. Number two, I would say, is networking, social, getting together, having fun. Let's just call it social fun. And that might not sound very important. That might sound like, oh, that's just a lighter, fluffier part of it. Getting together, having mixers, meeting with other people. It is an important part of a political movement. And because that's, if it's not fun, I'm not going to want to keep doing it. And I think a lot of other people feel the same way. If you have that network of people already in place, people who know each other and already kind of holding each other accountable, encouraging each other, guess what? When it's time to recruit volunteers for your campaign, they're already there. They're already familiar with each other. So having mixers, having county organizations, having get-togethers, and of course social media, groups on Facebook and however and wherever, but people who meeting like-minded people, how supportive is that? Just to know that you're not alone. There are others out there who believe in liberty, who believe in freedom and keeping government out of our checkbooks, out of our wallets, out of our bedrooms, and out of foreign countries. So the social fun aspect, I think, is really important. That's number two. And number three is outreach, educating people, putting our message out there, teaching the principles of liberty and freedom. Whether you are winning that campaign or not, you can run that campaign and teach people. Ron Paul was a fantastic example of this. When I was volunteering and working on the Ron Paul 2012, I would have loved the idea that he could actually win. And whether he was actually going, he was not going to win. Realistically, people did not think he was going. Some people perhaps did. But that didn't stop us. One of the main important parts of him and his campaign was his message. He taught the message. He taught the principles. He always spoke freedom. And he was a rock star. He still is a rock star, obviously. And he's not alone. And use your campaigns, use your outreach booths, parades, to teach the word, to teach the message, teach the principles, put it out there, inspire people, shake things up, get them to think about questions and ideas they may have never been presented with before. And guess what? When you're doing that, you can have campaign flyers and signs for your candidates who are running at that same outreach booth, at that same, pro Second Amendment march or rally or whatever it is. You can be supporting candidates. And guess what? It's fun. It's social. You're mixing in with other people. So all three of those areas. Number one, of course, campaigns. Number two, social fun. And number three, outreach, the inspiring and educating people. All three of those. If we had you can picture a little Venn diagram where they overlap and each one supports the other. Each is important. So that's my overall vision, intention for the party. Here are a couple of other not little by any means, but a couple of side notes about leadership and the state party that I would like to put forward. If you know me, if you've worked with me, you've probably heard me say less is more. Keep it simple. The current chair, Chris Logan, whom I love and she knows I love her, is a great planner, organizer, designer of systems, perhaps even too good. If you design something and put too involved of a system in place, there's a little more chance, if this person flakes out, or if that part, if you don't recruit somebody and get somebody for this cog of it or this, it can mess the whole thing up, the operations aspect of it. Less is more. Keep it as simple as possible. Keep it duplicatable, and invite and encourage people to plug themselves into that wherever they feel inspired to. That's going to be fun for you. You do that. You work on that and encourage that. So keep it simple. Less is more. And let's see, one other side note I see going forward in 2020, I would like to get a full slate of delegates to the National Convention, which is in Austin, Texas, and not just recruiting bodies to go. I want to get as much support for them, training for them, on how a convention is going to work, what to expect, what is expected of them. We want people who are going to be supporting the Libertarian platform, both the Kansas State Libertarian Party platform and the national. That's a big part of why you go to convention, is to vote on any changes to the platform, and of course vote for the 2020 officers within the party and the 2020 presidential and vice presidential candidates. So getting a whole bunch of really good and well-educated, well-principled, and supported, feeling confident delegates to National Convention. That's another personal goal of mine. If I do become the chair of the Libertarian Party of Kansas, which is my goal, and once again, I'll invite you to come to the convention for the Libertarian Party of Kansas, Saturday, April 13th. More information, go to lpks.org. Thank you very much for your time.